Well, here we are in the Super Saturday taxi. Can you believe, Anele, this is the 30th show.
I cannot believe that we have gone that far.
I know, 30
My word.
shows, incredible. So
round of applause
season
for us.
1 will come to a close, but I thought it'd be a good time to get you away from the seat. We've got the real Jose driving today.
Dude, it's so luxurious.
I know.
Here. You know, this is why you're always doing the Super Saturday taxis, because it's like luxury in here.
It is luxury. And you know what? On that couch were many interesting people. Long, tall, small. We had Johnny Girodis, who's only about 1'4".
Yes.
And the contrast that was Victor Matfield, who was hitting his head the whole time.
Yeah, he had to sit like this in here.
The risk of name dropping in the Super Saturday taxi, I mean, we've had pretty much everybody that's anybody. Graham Smith, obviously, Michael Owen.
Oh, stop it.
Yes.
You and Michael almost moved in together.
We're taking racing stables out together, I think, more to the point. But what I wanted to say was some of the highlights for me. I'm reminded, probably my biggest highlight was when I surprised you with the arrival of Gavin Hunt.
Oh,
do you remember that?
My favorite.
You didn't see that coming, eh?
My friends know that I hate being surprised.
Yes.
Let's just start there. And I always suspect something. My gut feel always says somebody's hiding something, something's happening. But you always nailed it. So if ever my friends want to organize a surprise party for me, I suggest they take up your service.
With pleasure, with pleasure.
And then, isn't that the time when he brought me my personalized jersey?
There, absolutely, yes. And then, of course, we all clambered in the taxi with the family and went to a game, which we've been banned from because they conceded late. Remember, they were leading 1-0.
It's in the back of the net.
I would say one of my highlights is our first. Well, we've had 2 out-of-town trips. One was the Durban July.
Yes.
And then the next one was the BCS SuperSport shootout.
You're right.
Where we got Mark Jury to do the Vosho.
Correct. I remember that. Yeah, that was a really cool show. It's good to get out of town, and I know you were busy, so you didn't get to come to Sun City, but we had the Nedbank Golf Challenge. I want to ask you about the food, because I know you enjoyed some of the food that we've had on the show during
This
30 shows
is the reason I had to stop eating.
Brilliant. No, we've had some great shows. I tell you what, when it comes down to, what about the artists we've had on? Of course, we're going to have a surprise later on the show.
Nomsaki, absolutely sensational.
Brilliant. You know what, raw talent, just great talent. And she, to me, musically, she was one of the best we had on the show.
And remember, we discovered on the show that she played provincial cricket, and Makai Antini was on the show.
Correct.
And then she was so obsessed with Makai Antini because that was her hero when she was growing up.
But you've had an interesting relationship with Fiso. You've sometimes prodded and poked at him, and vice versa.
Listen, I have people watching Fiso. I always have information on Fiso. I am Fiso's underworld.
Yes.
When he thinks he's getting away with something, because remember, he was like, no, I couldn't do the commentator's curse because I was here. And then my people had spotted him at Woolies.
Yes.
And you know what? He's so silly because he could have said, no, I was preparing for reasons to bribe.
Yes.
No, because he was caught out. He couldn't even lie on the spot. And then he's like, watch out. Watch out. Ah, I'm watching you.
Watch out. Watch out.
But we adore him. Love you, Fiso.
We've had some tremendous guests. I mean, we all have great guests and some personal favourites for me. I love having Portia Modise on because, you know, she's just a legend. And last week I was chatting to her in the taxi. It's just great to have, you know, people who have achieved at that extremely high level.
She is the highest goal scorer on the continent for men and women.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you have Portia Modise, you've got a legend. I always love having Desiree Ellis on because she's so tactical.
Yes.
You know, and we see, you know, football or soccer, you know, in one way, but just how she sees it and how she preps, you know, every team that she's performing with. It was lovely when you got Benny McCarthy for us right after he'd been announced as...
Yeah. No, we've had some great moments. I'm so glad you remembered the Benny thing because that was really cool at the time. And I want to thank in general all of our guests because I would say 99 times out of 100 when we've asked guests to come on, they've been obliging. From Kevin Curran, remember we had him when Wimbledon was on. It's been wonderful.
JL, our tennis guy.
Our favourite who's got a bit quiet. I don't know where Butch James is these days, but Butch was very central when we needed a rugby expert.
No, I mean, you know, every time Butch comes around is great, but Jean de Villiers.
Jean de Villiers.
Hey, he always breaks something.
Yeah,
so we
including
always have
my ribs. Thanks, Jean.
We have to speak to Discovery and speak to the building insurance when it comes to Jean de Villiers.
Yeah, you gave a shout out to Fiso earlier on. I want to shout out to some of the girls who are on. Tatu obviously has been a regular. And Kriya, we've always had great fun with the GTH, with the global team horse racing. So, yeah, it's been exhausting when you think of it. No wonder that we need a rest after 30 shows of that.
I'm actually looking for, where does one recline the seat in this limo, because that's what needs to happen. Now, there you go.
That's good. Look at you go. There you go. You getting used to that, which is actually reminds me we've had idols on. Look how idle she is. And of course, Big Brother. We had the Big Brother, the Titans. It's all been happening.
It's all been happening, but I'm sleeping now. So
Okay, you doze off.
Thank you for the 30 episodes. You've been. Thank you,
Thank you,
It was
partner.
a wonderful intro to the SuperSport world.
Exactly. Well, you're in there now and you can't get out. Super Saturday, here in the Super Saturday with Anele in the back. Mr. Jose driving.
Help me! This guy can't get out! Help me out!
Don't release her.